Okay, hey y'all. So let's talk about how to use and how to amend this Dollar Tree potting soil. Um, Listen, you can use this straight out the bag if you wanted to. I used this for a couple of my plants already. Some of my weedier plants, they did fine. And I did use this on some of my house plants that I wanted to grow outdoors, but those plants died in the freeze, so I can't give you any results from that. But as you can see, I have no ingredients list on this bag or anything like that. So let's just take a look. So this mix is very sandy, and there's just there's some rocks in here, and there's a lot of wood fibers in here as well. But I'm going to show you how I intend to use my potting soil with amendments. So first things first, with any potting mix, potting soil that I get, I sift it. So these two items I got from the Dollar Tree. This one I got because if I wanted to, sift this to an even finer mix, I can, but this has worked fine for getting the bigger chunks out. Ooh, I did not intend to pour all that out, but I'll just see. Here's a lot of the wood fibers and a lot of sand. See, look, a rock. I'm sure. Here's another one. They put rocks in here for drainage. Personally, I would not use rocks for drainage ever. So that's my whole chunky mix right there. Now, usually when I use this mix, this is as far as I go, but because I now have this and I finally have a reason to use it, I could sift it even finer. So let's do that. And this is my first time sifting it to a finer mix, but we'll see how this goes. So there's that. And this is the finer mix. So I like that now I have this fine mix, this small chunky chunk mix here, and then the large chunks here. So I like that personally. That just gives me a little bit more control. But again, you can keep these two mixed up and that's just fine. That's fine. Ultimately, I want the super big chunks out of my mix because I like adding them where I want. All right, so I'm actually gonna pour a little bit more in there. So for amendments, there are 3 main ingredients that I will be using. Coco coir, which you could also use peat moss alternatively, but I don't like peat moss. I don't like to use peat moss anymore. Since I started using coco coir, I love coco coir. I got this brick from Walmart, and I believe it was like $2.38 for this brick, and I think this is amazing. Perlite, always keep some perlite on hand, and compost. I don't have any bagged compost, so this is an area that has been just piled with leaves for a very, very, very long time, and this year I finally raked them. And I started to see that a lot of it was, decomposing quite well under here. So I'm just going to use some of this as my compost. Even though it hasn't all broken down completely, I'm okay with that. This is a lot of just broken down matter, sticks, leaves, leaves that are now soil. probably some native soil in there, acorns, lots of microbes. This is what I'm going to be using as my compost, but you use whatever you have. So if you want to go out and buy compost, do that. If you make your own compost, use that. Just use what you have. So let's go ahead and start mixing. And that's it. Now I also have some expanded shale here, and the expanded shale helps like loosen dense soils like clay or sandy soils, but it also is similar to perlite, which it helps with drainage and helps create that airflow for plants. It also can hold, I believe, up to 38% of its weight in water. So it's good for moisture retention. So you won't have to, depending on how much you add, it would help kind of just like reduce how much you water. So I add this when I need to, when I feel like I need to. The reason why I do this is because I'm working with containers, and I need control based on what plants I'm using. I need the option to add, if I wanted to add some chunkier pieces, I can do that. If it needs to be finer, like I can add that. If I need a really, really chunky mix for like cacti or succulents or something like that, I have that. So it's really just about control for me. Now, if you just wanted to amend, like use this mix and amend just for general purpose, do equal parts of everything. So I would sift all of the chunky parts out and then mix in equal parts of everything else. And then just be done. But this is the mix.